Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Simon Eakin, and I have an idea worth spreading in just 5 minutes. The program said 4, but I just couldn't do this message justice in 4 minutes. I believe the most important of all the virtues we possess is courage. I define courage as being scared and acting anyway. I'm known by some as a one-man flash mob. I became a speaker, author, and teacher on the subject of courage as a result of a story I'm about to tell you. 15 years ago, at about 11:30 on a Friday night, I got on a bus in Brixton, South London, a neighbourhood with a violent and tough reputation. I was waiting in the queue for the number 59 bus. All around me was the kind of noise you'll hear and associate with any big city on a Friday night. The end of the week, the beginning of the weekend. I filed onto the bus and took my seat. As soon as the bus pulled away, the talking stopped and the bus fell silent. The contrast between the noise and the silence was so extreme that I began to ponder why. All of a sudden, an idea came to me. Stand up, make a speech, and bring some life and soul to this bus. And so began an intense debate in my head on the pros and cons of doing a speech on a night bus. 2 minutes later, I had made the decision to go for it. I stood up, walked to the front of the bus, turned round and started speaking. "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen," I said. "I've been sitting in my seat wondering why we are all so quiet. When I got on this bus, I could barely hear myself think above the noise. I have come to the conclusion that it's probably because most of us, certainly it's the case for me, are probably on some level concerned, self-conscious and worried or scared about what others might think of us. So I have challenged myself to make a speech in just a few minutes to bring some life, community and conversation and hopefully some laughter to this bus until my bus stop in a few minutes' time. I have never done this before. I'm not drunk, I'm not going to talk about religion, and I have not just been released from an institution. My knees are shaking and my heart is pounding." I spoke for a few minutes and somehow I just found the words to speak about such things as possibility, passion and commitment. Before realising my bus stop was fast approaching. As I headed for the door, I was aware of a shift in the bus, like popcorn, a community popping into life. People were now talking, laughing and joking, some even high-fiving as I went. As I head to the exit, I freeze. There is a man standing in my path. He is looking directly into my eyes. He is a mountain of a man, with short cropped ginger hair, a deep scar down his right cheek, and a dotted line across his throat, underneath which are written the words, "Cut here." He strengthens his pose and leans into me. I cannot go anywhere. I am trapped. He is literally in my face, pointing a finger at me. His breath smells of beer, cigarettes and garlic, but his words change my life. May, he says, "There's a lot of people are gonna think you're mad, but don't ever, ever stop what you're doing, all right?" And since that day, I have done over 700 talks to over 7,000 strangers. My mission is to encourage others to step up, be courageous, follow their heart, and find their voice. The final trigger that enabled me to make that speech on the bus, in the face of overwhelming fear, was a question that popped out of nowhere and shocked me into action, because I could see that it applied to every area of my life. When will you ever be ready? When will you ever be ready? When will you be strong enough, ready enough, confident enough, rehearsed enough, pretty enough, rich enough, successful enough? No. What I learned is that the only time we are ready is when we make the decision, commit, and go for it. Johann Goethe famously said, "Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid." If you're looking for some tools and inspiration to be more bold and courageous, please come to my workshop tomorrow. If you don't, goodbye and good luck.